Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Easter, everybody. I'm hoping everybody's having a fabulous day for their Easter. I thought I'd pop in and I wasn't on yesterday and stuff. Been very sort of quiet lately. Regrouping. That full moon in Libra was a very it was a very intense moon. I'm gonna discuss a little bit of that today. And talk about what the energy is coming up, especially with a new moon, which will be a solar eclipse. It'll be a partial solar eclipse. And also, if anybody's in the Calgary area, because I'm not sending this out to anybody, but if you're in the Calgary area, this was sent to me. And thank you. Thank you. But I don't have a Nespresso machine. So if you have, I have a Keurig. So if you and I did try one to see if it worked in the Keurig, but no, it just was a national disaster. Um, if you um have a Nespresso machine and you're in the Calgary area, you can have this. Just let me know. Just PM me. We can meet up somewhere. I'll give it to you. I don't like to see things go to waste, and I can't use it because I don't have that type of machine. But if you have this type of machine and you're in the Calgary area, please let me know, and I will give this to you. I've only used one to see if it would work in my Keurig, but there it is it's Pike Place um roast, which is their medium roast. I would say for me, Pike roast is actually very light. It's not a medium roast, but anyways, it is a medium roast according to Starbucks. And it's nice. It has a really nice flavor to it. It is their it's sort of like their house blend. It took over their house blend. It's one of their original blends that they had because Pike Place is where Starbucks began. So it is one of their original blends, Pike Place. So if you want this, let me know. There we go. How to get that out. Um so it's there yesterday what I found was a really beautiful day of contemplation, a real beautiful day of looking at my intentions. It was a Libra full moon and that Libra energy, and really tapping into that balance of what it is to have that balance, have that energy of the word cooperation. My energy cooperating with my soul's intent, what my soul journey is, and really balancing that energy within myself and with how I am moving forward within my own self, my own life. And I have noticed that, yeah, there are some changes coming. um and I'm open to the changes. I'm open to this newness that's coming forward and having it unfold for me, and looking at how this new journey is going to unfold for me. It is one that I'm going to say is new. It's something um, not unfamiliar, but it is something that is where some of my energy is going to be more in tuned with and aligning with with the solar energies and with the moon energies as this new path is unfolding. And I just have to I'm going to leave that I'm going to leave that there, because it's where I'm asking to be shown this way. Show me the way. um Show me where I need to go. Show me who I need to speak to. Show me how to lead, or how do I need to be doing this. So being very open to spirit and the divine, and for the guidance to guide me upon the road, and helping me not to be so stubborn and so obstinate about shit. um it's one of those things where I feel like it's like, okay, you got to get over yourself, and you got to Got to just get over yourself. Just get over yourself, and that's the whole thing, is to step in and get over yourself, because sometimes your ego is going to step in and say, no, why are you doing that? Or, that person, why are you listening to that person? You think they know everything. And so your ego will step in, and sometimes it'll sabotage what you are wanting to go forth and do, instead of just embracing it and saying, yeah, I am going to go, I'm going to listen to that person, or I'm going to, yeah, there's something more there that I want to learn. So in that, it leads us up to, not only the full moon that we just had, but also what we are entering into is the solar eclipse. And the solar eclipse is April 30th. And so we have two new moons in 1 month, and that's usually called a black moon. Hence, it's a partial eclipse. But this is a wide orb of energy, and it starts to activate about 30 days. So eclipses last about, start, on this activation of 30 days. And I feel with a lot of my predictions that I said at the beginning of the year in January, that we're pretty much on track with what's going on in 2022. And this is an intense, so 2022 is the midpoint between 2012 and 2032. So it's prophesized as the golden age will begin. And this is the midpoint. This is an intense year. And it's a big battle. So we need to be aware, and we need to look into different qualities and band for humanity. Some are already living in this new earth energy and in this vibration, and others are not. So we still have that sort of duality. And we had the Jupiter Neptune conjunction in that energy, and it's going to be with us till mid May. So there's an operational opportunity for us to continue with our intent and stepping forward with this expansion of energy. And this is a significant one. So the thing is, this is significant, and inflation seen now. So we're seeing that now. So Jupiter and Neptune coming together is a very inflating, it inflates energy. Also, it has the potential of big water, and that's what it's literally translated as big water, and the symbolism that we would see. So we're already seeing, like, with that Jupiter, with big waters, there's flooding. Poor Australia. God, I'm sending love out there. They're flooding in Eastern Australia right now. Hypnosis, a psychosis, illusion. And aside with Jupiter and Neptune, this is all around us. So this is what's being really expanded with this energy. And I did take a lot of notes on this to to really give you information. And the best expression of Jupiter and Neptune is inside us. They are subtle, because this is a very fine, beautiful, angelic energy. And we're not going to necessarily see a bunch of angels flying around us, and land all around us, and but it is this energy of best expression is to surrender in the bliss to this fine yin energy. And for me, this was really, yeah, I have to surrender. I just have to allow. I have to allow for how things are unfolding and the directions in which this is taking me, and honoring myself within that, honoring how I am taking these new steps in my life. And it's a sense of expanded consciousness with this. And it's really surrounding to these surges of the photonic energies that the earth is passing through, and the photonic light. So some, it's like, can see these different qualities of light. You can see the different qualities in light in other people, in things that are going around you. Some can see the crystalline structures of it. And because we are moving from a carbon energy to a crystalline, they can actually see the crystalline geometry of it. And that that should give us a great reassurance that we're headed in a very beautiful spiritual renewal of energy for us and for Earth. And we need to look at whereabouts where that 28 and well, is it 8 degrees? Hold on. Where 8 degrees Pisces, where it is in your chart and where 28 degrees Pisces is in your chart. So taking a look at those 2 points in your chart, what house they're in, and that's going to tell you what you are you're experiencing. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, hang on, I will pull up my chart so that you can have an idea of what it is that I'm talking about with these points. I didn't think about pulling up my chart, but I'm going to. But I'm going to in my chart I usually when I read charts, I don't use whole houses, but I'm going to recommend whole houses. Is this coming up for me? Yes. Um, I'm just going to pull up my natal chart. I'm going to pull up the nodes in that. And default is usually that. I'm going to use whole signs with this, so that you can get a better idea than Placidus, because sometimes I use Placidus. So no idea. Okay. So this is why I'm going to bring this up. And so you can have an idea of what is she talking about. Now you can get your chart through astro.com. There's many different free places online that you can tap in your information. If you don't want to go there, you could go to Cafe Astrology. So there's different areas, there we go, that you can look at. Now I'm pulling up my chart. Now you should see, there we go. Should be able to see my chart. This is my chart. And I just brought in pretty basic. Okay. Now in my chart up at the top, here we got, here's your first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So it gives you what house. Those are the houses that the signs go in. When we go up to Pisces, Pisces is this symbol here. This is the glyph for Pisces. So so what is at 8 degrees or close to 8 degrees? Well, it's my Chiron in my ninth house. And 28 degrees, there's nothing there at 28 degrees. It's not really opposing anything down here in the third house, which is Virgo. So I don't have much there, but at 8 degrees, it's pretty close, 2-degree orb of Chiron. So for me, when I look at the ninth house and you want to ask yourself, okay, well, what is the ninth house? If you're not sure, people, you can go and you can say Google, you can go ninth house meaning. Okay, so you can just do ninth house meaning. So in that, you could just look it up. And so Chiron, I know, is a wounded healer. And this is where Pisces is in my ninth house. I have Chiron there. What's going on? So the ninth house is telling me to encourage, to keep an open mind and be willing to learn new things as the world changes and expands. And it's Chiron there. So Chiron is also looking at, what are my wounds? What are my blocks? What is holding me back? And when it's in you can go even deeper. So, ninth house meaning, and you can ask in Pisces. So that's going in a little bit deeper. And this is about creating magic. So Pisces is expansive, it's creating magic, but also rules all poisonous and unexplored areas. So Chiron's there. So I have to be careful not to sabotage what it is that I'm doing, not to get into the poison of the world around us. Don't get pulled into negative things. So, and especially with what, with this full moon, and we just had it, what this all, what that meaning is for us as we are um, heading into newness. And I can add transits in there. So I'll just press that button. There's a button up on top that says transits. And it's sort of, it gets me to see more of what's going on and where the sun and everything else is. So that, I'm going to stop the share. That's sort of okay. So that's what I'm looking for, right? And if you don't have any planets in there or nothing in that, say you don't have anything in Pisces, right? That's okay. Then look at the house that it's in, because it'll have some significant meaning, because things are transiting in that house. So it's going to have some kind of meaning to you on some of the things that are going on in your life. And as I read this and I'm looking at it, it's like, yeah, freedom to grow and finding the right direction in my life, right now. It's important. And what was I saying before I came on here? Being open to the new road, to the expansion, allowing me not to fall into the negativity or the poisonous aspects of the world around us, or me falling into my own poisonous vat that I can easily do, that halts me from growing. So we have this energy that is wanting us to expand. Okay. And the different energies, the yang energies, are very strong. And April 16th, yesterday, we just had the full moon, and the big theme was power. So there was huge power with this theme. And Pluto was squaring the sun and the moon. So huge power struggle here. So we have the power struggle of the sun in Aries and the moon in Pluto. And it's a spiritual transformation which we are going through in our evolution. That theme continues on the 18th, another day where the sun becomes exact. So that's tomorrow. The sun and the moon, or the sun and Pluto, are exactly squared. And again, highlighting power. And the same with the moon, highlighting the square with Eris and Pluto. And Eris is the street fighter, the underdog, wanting to go out there, fight for you, fight for your power, get out there. She's the activist. And Pluto in Capricorn is to top down governments. And the task of Pluto in Capricorn as it moves through any sign, he reveals the shadow side of that sign. That's what he does. He wants you to take a look at what is not working in the world, what is not working with government, what is not working with institutions and corporations. Pluto's digging this up, and he's at 28 degrees, he's at 28 degrees. So he is hanging on to that, and he's going to be there for a while. So he's stirring up, and it's like that rotor-rooter going down and stirring up all this stuff and bringing it out. And so that's the same thing in our lives, is where is Pluto rotor-rooting your life to dig up those deep roots that need to come out so that we can live a life that is bringing in the prosperity and the abundance for our own selves. And Capricorn, the top down government, corporations, institutions that have power over us in some way. Now, Pluto in Capricorn moves until 2023, and then it backtracks and goes back into Capricorn. And then in 2024, it'll be full time in Aquarius. So this is the last couple of degrees of excavating. Anything in the last degrees of a sign is intense. When I see somebody who's at, has a 29 degrees of a sun or a moon and in a sign or whatever the planet is, there's some intensity that they always deal with in their life in some way, in some manner. The other part too, because it's such yang, with Eris or with Aries and Capricorn, is the father energy. So the strong masculine energy that is coming forward in our lives. And this is, as we're excavating the lack of integrity, the accountability, transparency, this could trigger many people within looking at the masculine energy of, is there a lack? Have I had a lack of integrity or accountability or transparency when it comes to masculine energy in my life? And I said masculine energy. I didn't say male. I'm not calling in, male, gender male. I'm calling in the masculine because we all have the masculine and feminine within us. So this could be some masculine energy that you have come apart or have seen, and it has not been, positive in your life in some way. So this is a top down of the structures, and will become clear because it doesn't have to um, have far to go. And also, Pluto stationary is going to be going retrograde. It's going to be starting to go stationary retrograde on April 19th. So he's the first planet to start to slow down and start to go retrograde. However, we will feel it because the symbolism of the planet always magnifies when it changes direction. So we're going to feel the craziness of the masculine. We're going to feel craziness of, even more intensities from governments, from corporations. We're going to feel more intensities of that, not only in the outside world, but within our own selves. And with that, from April 22nd week to April 29th, it is drilling down at that 28 degrees. As I said, it's drilling down, and it's going to be drilling down for April, May, and June. It's drilling, it's looking into this energy. And this is the first planet to go retrograde again. And it's going to highlight power. It's going to highlight the power. So where is that power that is that you are not stepping into? Where's that power that has had that negative impact on your life and you don't want to step forward within your structure, within your domain of doing something? So this is going to come in and really have us work on these things. And all planets from 27 to 29 27 to 29 degrees of cardinal signs. Now, cardinal signs are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, and Aries. So the four, and these are the four signs that seasons are changed. So in Aries, we come into spring, from winter to spring. Well, Cancer, we come in from spring to summer. Libra, summer to fall. Capricorn, fall to winter. Changes of season. These are forward motion. These are cardinal signs. They are the leader. They are the ones that are in the generals that come in to take us in to the new journey within our lives. So in the houses area, so Pluto, or where Pluto's transiting. So take a look where Pluto's transiting in your house, in your chart. Pluto's transiting in my 9th house. He's been doing that since 2008. So since 2008, Pluto's been in the sign of Capricorn. What kinds of authority have you been dealing with, or father-like energies have you been dealing with since 2008? What are the obstacles that you might have been having since 2008? And, whether they could have been financial, they could have been things dealing with the government, they could have been things dealing with different institutions. What is it that you've been happening in your life since 2008? And take a look at that. And now that we're at 28 degrees, it's really digging some things up for us and really getting us to look at things in a deeper manner in our lives. And this is, with the squares and, if there's any squares in your chart or any oppositions in your chart as well. So, this regard to power with Pluto going retrograde, and first on the 29th, and may see a strong assertion of power in the world in around that time. So that we might be seeing some more power play happening in the world around us, maybe within our own personal life, taking on power play. Question is, Pluto Capricorn, how well has that power been used? Have we been using the power, the government, financial, psychological power, spiritual power in the world, or in your life, in your own self? How have you been using the power, and the power? How have you been stepping into your power to help the world around you? And be nothing is really is a, I don't even know what the word is I wrote here, but if you feel the external power authorities are lacking, then nothing will change until we step into our own power. So nothing is going to change in the world until we change, until we step into the directions we need to step into in taking charge in our lives. And this is not by way of anger or destruction or with violence. This is with calmness, peacefulness, and knowing you are, in this in this inalienable right as a human rights. You have that as a human being, that you step into this sense, and more you get into community and like-minded people. That means in order to find them, you have to get out there. You have to communicate. This is a time of action. This isn't a time to sit and think, oh, it would be really nice if I found such nice like people, but I'll wait till they knock on my door. Look for groups, look for associations. Find those groups, and maybe you can meet in person. Maybe they're right in your backyard, in your neighborhood, in your community. So start to look for that and do that. And it's easy to be strong when you're in a community. It's easy to be strong when you're in a community, and are being strong in the same way. And a big part to continue with the Pluto Capricorn this year into next year, and also very much focus on the spiritual transformation, a huge period, a huge energy of evolution that is coming forth. And many know that with Pluto's conjunctions, or the Jupiter, yeah, the Jupiter Pluto conjunctions that happened 3 times last year, we're expanding us in a movement of going forward. This is stepping into a multidimensional self and a sense of expanded consciousness, a greater sense of psychic sensitivity and sensitivity to energies. So, this is what you may be finding for your own selves. So, you might be finding, being very sensitive to the world around you, being more sensitive to energies and seeing things, because this is all being expanded. And healing and telepathy and tuning into your dreams. So more dreams, more vividness, more understanding. Like, it's like understanding what that person is thinking. They don't even have to really speak. You just know. You just know it, right? And with this, on the 29th, a strong energy, and this is all month, we have a Saturn squaring the nodal axis. So with all of the energy, like, this is intense energies that are coming in, but the intensities of the energies that are coming in is an awakening us to this, awakening us to the new journey, to the new spiritual expansion, and us stepping forward with this. And what structures are we building for long term? That's what Saturn wants to know. Long term into our future. That's what, Aquarius. So we have this, strong energy. The strong energy is Saturn. And this is where it's looking at what are the structures that we're built, the structures, Saturn. Building, what are we building? Saturn. And as we are going into long term with relationships into our future is Aquarius. Structures are rebuilding. And this is a strong T square with the north and south nodes, which are in Taurus and Scorpio. To be conscious of the choices and where we are choosing and are leading. So this is a kind of society we want to influence. This is society that we want in the future. And this is where people, you can't just sleepwalk into it, and we must be very aware of what we are doing. You have to be conscious in the intent of what you are putting your energy towards. Wherever you put whatever your intent is, that's where the energy and the motion is going to flow. If your energy and motion is flowing on negativity and heartache and not feeling very stable or what have you, that's what's going to be expanded even more right now, because that's where Jupiter is. Jupiter's expanding. What do you want? What are your dreams? What are your values? I will expand that for you. And with the solar eclipse on the 30th at 1:29 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you guys can figure it out for your time. That's why I did it Pacific, because people can usually do that. This eclipse, this wild card, this is a wild card, and this is where we could pivot points. And 2022 is already a tipping point. The eclipses are a kind of pivot point that we are taking at this time, and within that and the changes changes are going to be permanent. So this is where this solar eclipse, I feel, is a very this one is easier than a lunar one, because new moons are beginnings. New moons are these new beginnings, and feels better post than ending. And the lunar eclipse on May 15th and 16th in Scorpio, that's going to be very intense. Scorpio is not exactly, whoo, party central, let's lay back, come on, lay at the beach. We're just going to be like, oh, just sitting back and drinking Mai Tais. No, that's not what Scorpios do. We like to drink the Mai Tais, but there's usually some kind of intensity that will come in. So let us love. Just know through this, the old is collapsing. And this movie set, this fraudulent old wizard behind the curtain, whose magic tricks have been, seceded. This is the kind of feelings that have no doubt, and a parallel society is already being built. This newness, this new energy, this new world is being built. It is there. It is happening. And so we must set a clear intention at 10 degrees 28 in Taurus. That's where it falls. And see where, again, now we're going to go to Taurus energy and see where does that fall in your chart. So if I bring up my chart again, share. So Taurus is a circle with horns. There it is, circle with horns. So we start to look at where that 10 degrees is. So each of these, this is 0 right here, this point. This is 5. This is 10. So in around this point here, this is where the solar eclipse is going to take place. And what is that going to be opposite of? Oh, well, fuck me. It's going to be opposite my sun, which is at 11 degrees 58. So it's going to be having a 1 degree off orb, of course, or less than a 1 degree off orb. And my Mercury. So this intensity, so this is like having me take a really good look at what's happening in my 11th house? My 11th house is my community. It's ruled by Aquarius, so 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. This is Taurus. How am I planting the grounds for my community and what I'm doing, and how can I allow for that to shine within the 5th house, which is ruled by Leo, and it's in Scorpio, and to allow my intensity to communicate what I need to communicate when it comes to groups and society. So that's just, I'm just going off the top of my head of what I'm seeing. So take a look at your own chart and take a look on that. If you need to, hey, I got a sale on until tomorrow, and let's book in and let's look at your chart and go into it in depth and see what that meaning is for you and how that is going to look like for you, and maybe looking at how you want to set some intentions. So if you are wanting to book a 1 hour and do that, my sale's on, then it's $90. The sale ends tomorrow. And so this is where, when we look at it, with the eclipses fall in close proximity to the nodal chart axis, the moon, and the north or the south end. So the north node is the future, the collective, the destiny. Where are you? Where are you headed? The south eclipse is a jump. It's a surprise back on our path of destiny. So we want to, this is where it's like, let's get back focused on where we want to do. This moon that we just had, this full moon, was getting us to really balance out things in our life, look at what's really balanced. Where can we start taking charge and move ahead? Where are we moving ahead? Then comes the eclipse. Okay, let's get on the path. Let's get going and start doing the shit we need to be doing. And it doesn't move in a linear or gradual way because we have the sun and the moon conjuncting Uranus. So in comes the crazy uncle, who's coming in, and he is going to move us. He's going to get us to go in a direction, and it's not linear. It's a gradual, smooth way, jump, surprise. This is manifest in many ways in multi-dimensional planet, and what helps a fresh perspective of things, particularly on things linked to the earth in Taurus. So it's going to get you to look at things that you need to look at. What is important to you in your mundane world. So your relationships, your money, farming, food, that is Taurus. So I want to say food protection, agriculture, things very important to grow food, because Uranus in Taurus is in there till 2026, has effect on expansion, on the expression of food supply. So whatever's going on with our food supply, Uranus is getting us to awaken to where are you getting your food from? How are you getting your food? All of that. That's what it has to do. Uranus is also distribution, and of how is it being distributed. Taurus is food supply. So may continue sometimes, and Uranus is awakening us to the higher mind, the galactical. It can give us a higher, fresher, newer on what is emerging in the world. It can bring us clarity, piercing clarity, uncovering secrets. Pluto moving through and within the retrograde is a revolution of secrets. So is the south node within Scorpio, and it's going to be there till 2023. So we're having all of this energy coming up and getting us to awaken. Are you doing it? Is this something? And it's piercing and it's strong and it's pushing us. And we're, this is where we are going to be emerging. This is, particularly with financial, sexual, buried deeply, long hidden that will emerge, and that is a part of the process of uncovering with Pluto and Capricorn, process of the collapse of the old order. So this is surprises at this time, and with Uranus and Taurus, unstable geometrics, magnetics, and some experiential on the chart in the terms of the number of coronal mass ejections. So that has to do with earthquakes, volcanoes, solar flares, and more coming in to get us to awaken. We're shaking up. We're shaking up. We're moving. And this is also with the M class and the X class of flares that can bring power outages. It can bring internet cutouts, kinds of things can also link to cyber attacks. So discontinue sudden electromagnetic energy. Eclipses often we feel those too. So with Taurus and Scorpio nodal axes are very linked to banking, finances, financial systems, currency, because right on is conjuncted with Uranus. Another development in digital currency may be coming up. So, something to do with digital currency, the banking system is another one. Stock markets, all of that, we're going to be seeing some craziness happening with that. The battle that that we've been going through with this energy, and especially with, just I'm trying to think now, with Saturn at 24 degrees and with that square with Uranus at 14 degrees, even though they're a 10-degree part, solar eclipse is highlighting the center part, highlighting the center, the direct in the center. So it's really highlighting something in there, but comes back together in October. These degrees come back together. So where Uranus and Saturn still come into a full square. We had those squares last year. This is back, but it comes back together at these degrees. And this year will come in a crescendo in October through the end of the year with big, massive waves of changing. That's why I keep on saying November is going to be crazy. There's going to be massive changes, massive craziness that is going to be happening between October and December of this year. And we're going to be seeing it. So big waves are coming in. And that lunar eclipse on November 8th is also big for the United States because it's their midterm elections. And it's the square of exact when Saturn and Uranus are square exact again. And to the degree. And one of the manifestations of the square, meaning of this square, is the centralized or decentralized, and ultimately the battle of Saturn and Uranus. And Uranus wins because Uranus is the future and Saturn is the past. But the past is not going to let go very easily. It wants the control, it wants to stay up on top. It's like the old king that doesn't want to give up his power. He wants to keep it. And in comes the new, fresh ideas, fresh newness of vitalization, of renewal, and spirituality wants to revitalize things. Do you think the church wants to give up its power? Hence, I'm talking about this on Easter. Please don't strike me down. Do they really want to give up that? No, they don't. They've had power for over how many thousands of years? And we're coming in with some new light and new, I'm going to say, infrastructures of change that are coming in and developing. And this is where most governments across the world right now are developing their own form of digital currency. I've been saying that. But the original conception of digital currency was to decentralize. So there may be some developments with digital currency around the solar eclipse or new technology and another prime time. So this might be coming in. even in the last weeks of July, first week of August, where where Uranus highlighted with the North Node and Mars. So by the end of July, first week of August, there's something, especially with Mars and Uranus coming together with the North Node. Some development could come up with digital currency. Something more could be coming up when it comes to agriculture, or some craziness when it comes to, maybe it's drought, maybe it's more flooding, maybe it's something else that's going to be hitting at that time. So this is going to look into, this is one of the most important manifests in many ways. So this is long term, and Eris will still be squaring Pluto. There'll be a highlight to that. So coming in with the under that fighter person, that person that says, no, this is what we're going to be doing. And Pluto coming in with the topping of government, and continue till October of this year. Now, this is also bringing in a beautiful energy of Hermea. Hermea is a Hawaiian goddess of fertility, and she is opposite Eris. So she's there. She wants to give, this is like fertility. She's that goddess that everything just grows out of her. She can give birth out of any part of her body, and it grows into. She's the energy that if there is dry, arid land, she will make things grow. Hence, in Dubai right now, they have just set up for this, hydroponic greenhouses in Dubai, like huge, and growing food. It's in the middle of the desert. It's in the middle of a man-made desert or man-made place, Dubai, right? So they are creating new things in places that you're not supposed to grow things there. You're not supposed to grow. But that's what Hermena does. She's this beautiful goddess. She is the mother of Pele, the goddess of volcanoes. So there is this newness, this renewal that's coming in, that is there for us to access and tap into. Love it. Love it. So the key symbols of the new earth is this goddess of Hawaii, and the old buildings of letting go. The old movie house, let it go. This is a new society, beautiful, new creative, potential creative. Taurus rules with Venus. Venus is the ruler. Venus is in Pisces, and she's happy. She's exalted. She's there. It's great. It's wonderful. And she's going to be conjuncting Neptune and Jupiter. We're not going to have that again. This is like, for her to have a triple conjunction, this is like, man, she's going to have an orgy through the roof. That's right. She's going to have an orgasm that's just going to explode everywhere, because she's just letting it go, because she's in her party side, expressing the the best, not the breast. I'm not going to expose my breast, but the best rare of this triple conjunction. And this is where this is comfy. This is love. This is romance. This is the last degrees. So this is looking at where, again, where is this in my chart? Where is Pisces in my chart? Okay, I looked at it. It was in my 9th house. Oh, okay. This is what I need to look at, because she's coming in there and she wants to give this. She's beautiful. This brings power boost of love, beauty. This is about, this fine, creative, spiritual perception, bringing in this fine tuning of creativity, and with Uranus bringing in and new ideas, fine tuning things, bringing us into that. Yeah, this is where I'm going. I can see it. I'm moving towards this. That's where this energy comes in. And it's two sides of the same coin. So it's just fine perceptions. And you can come into an altered state and shift levels and become your imagination, boosted intuition, and your sense of blending. And when I say altered reality, I don't mean I'm not talking about going on DMT. I'm not talking about going on any hallucinogenic drugs, or going off on wait. This could be happening within your own meditations and mantras that bring you into a beautiful altered state that help you to see things more clearly. So after you do a mantra or you're in doing any um, meditations or drumming in that, afterwards journal it out, bring that energy in, see what energy comes in for you, and allow for you to keep a journal during this time. So this is really exquisite being in bliss, being in transcendence of surrounding and rendering beauty. This is a connection to oneness, is what we are trying to get to. And we are in a parallel and division, and we are in a feeling that strongly within ourselves about people you're right with, and I'm where we are not going, where we are not being ourselves, that we can go beyond ourselves in the unity of consciousness. And we have to up our games to get beyond the polarities and produce a different results in the world, to get away from this endless cycle of war, poverty, and disease. And what is being pushed upon us right now? War, famine, disease. Those are being pushed upon us right now as a collective, as humans in this world. We are being told that get ready, there's going to be a famine. Get ready, we're heading for World War III. Get ready, we're heading for all of this other, there's a new disease, a new bird flu, whatever is coming. This is where we have to be prepared and we have to be ready. Being prepared, as I said, grow your food, start finding out how to grow your food. I've started my hydroponics. I'm growing my seedlings, getting my seedlings going. I'm going to get some pepper seeds, as soon as I can get some funds, and start to grow some peppers and eggplants and things I like to eat. You don't grow something you don't like to eat. Okay. If you don't like broccoli, don't grow broccoli. Don't grow it, right? If you love broccoli, grow broccoli. Learn about things. Learn about, how to grow the broccoli, how to grow the Brussels sprouts. I want to grow some horseradish too, because I think horseradish is really great to have around, and ginger. How do I grow ginger? What do I need to grow ginger? You know, these are, and this is part of the road. This is part of the journey. And with this, to get away from this energy of destruction and a tit for tat. And the solar eclipse is a very intense sign. There's real beauty and uplifting with it. And Pluto goes retrograde right before the day before to the last week of June. So this is intensity that's coming in of what's going to be happening. But the thing is, the beauty part about this, and this is what astrology is all about, is that you can take now, here it is. I just gave you a blank page. What do you want to draw on that blank page? What colors do you want? This is like, oh, what array. It's like having modeling clay, and I gave you all the different colors of modeling clay. And what do you want? What do you want to devise with that modeling clay? What does that feel like with that modeling clay? Right? You got all the Legos. Now, okay, let's go to Legos. If you don't like modeling clay, what do you want to build with the Legos? You got all the different colors of Lego. What is it? And all the different types of Lego to create something. That's what astrology is. It shows you, here it is. I'm giving you what's happening. I'm showing you what the intensities are and the feelings of intensity. We take a look at where that intensity could be, or we feel it is within our own lives. How do I set forth on the new course? How do I set forth on a new course? How do I work with this? And how do I embrace this, and how do I let it go? This is where, when people learn karate, or when they're going to chop the the wood in half. And the thing is that you see these little 5-year-olds coming up, hiya, and they cut it through, and you're just like, oh my God. And they're these tiny little things that weigh only 30 pounds. The wind blows, they fall over, but they're chopping these, with their hand. The thing is that they're not focused on their hand hitting that. What they're focused on is where their hand is going to be. That's where it takes you to where, oh, my hand is going to be down there, and that's where I'm going to focus on. I'm focusing on my direction. I'm not focusing on the obstacle that's in front of me. I know I'm going to go through that because that's where I want to be. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to allow myself to grow with it, and be open to the bounty that's there. And bounty doesn't necessarily mean money, but bounty can be many different things in many different parts within our lives. So I hope this helps you. I know I was on here for an hour, and it's pretty long. So review it. Take notes. Stop me. Stop. Boop. And take notes, where you need to take notes. And so that you can really start figuring out a direction for your own self. And that's one of the main reasons I do what I do, is that I want to help you give you the power. You have the power. You already have it. I just want to give you the kick in the ass to ignite it, right? And to utilize it. So you have the power already inside you, the light. We all need a swift kick in the ass to get it going. So I am taking coffee donations. So if anybody wants to donate to my coffee fund, you can e-transfer or PayPal, thegurumama@gmail.com. It's on the bottom there. Or if you are, one more day for my sale, and then it's done. So hopefully I hear from you all soon. And if not, I'm sending you loads of love. So may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Have a blessed Easter today, and shine your light in whatever you do. Thank you for being a part of my community and helping me upon my road. Thank you for being guiding lights. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.